Alright, so I hope everyone had a happy New Year's. I already painted these, put the clay on. And you can see the clay starts here, kind of ends here. Because I'm only going to be dipping it like here. I did all three. I've got the oven heating up right now, so I figured I'd do some other work while I got the oven heating up. These I painted yesterday, so they'd be ready. I'll leave a link down below and at the end slate to my 1095 normalizing and anti-scale. Basically, I painted these the exact same way. I didn't normalize them because they're small and they're kind of a test product right now to see if I can get this quench to go fast and all that. So, yeah, I didn't normalize them. I should have, and if I do another one, I'm going to normalize it. But, yeah, I'll leave a link to the other video. I painted them the same way, applied the anti-scale the same way. The only thing I did different on these, since I'm not doing handles, if anyone's ever heat treated, you know when you grab the steel with the tongs, it can cool it down quickly and that will leave a mark on your steel. Since I'm not putting handles on these, I made little tabs. I'm gonna put like a washer on one side and a tab on the other way. That way I can grab the tab with the tongs. I bought some stainless steel nuts. And I was going to use washer, but then I remember a lot of washers come with zinc coating and I don't feel like poisoning myself, so gotta be safe. So let me cut these tabs out and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so here we go. So yeah, I made sure to get stainless steel. So yeah, see I cut down a little washer on one side, slipped the stainless steel bolt through. And put the tab on the other side. Now this is just a trial. I mean, you know, I've never done W2 and I've never done this tab thing. But I just want to try it and see if it works. From what I read with W2, the best way is to put your oven at 1460. Now see, now this will heat up and this will heat up all at the same time. That way when I grab it here by the tongs, I can dip it and I don't have to worry about it. My friend was talking about using a wire, which would probably work, but I was afraid the wire wouldn't have enough hold. And stainless steel can go up to 2000 degrees, so that way I don't have to worry about the bolts melting or getting stripped or anything. So there's our first one. Try that. And yeah, I made it all one big strip and marked it out and drilled it all first because you don't want to be holding a little piece like this trying to drill it. So mark everything out, drill it, and then cut it. You know, that way you're working with a bigger piece and you have to worry about stuff helicoptering or whatever. Then I chamfer the holes just, you know, to make it look decent and you don't have to worry. You know, these don't have to be anything special because all they're doing is holding the knife. So you can grab it with the tongs. Underneath, you know, underneath this is anti-scale because the oven's still gonna get the steel hot enough where it could get oxidated. So you still want to make sure to put your anti-scale everywhere. In fact, on the handle, if you're not dipping it, can even be thicker. The only place you gotta want it thin is right here and right here. And then you can see the clay. Yeah, you only want it thin here, and then the clay for the hamon. When I dip it, I'm just dipping it up to like here. You know, it's gonna go in like that. Should work. Let's hope. Like I say, I've never done W2 before, so it's always fun trying a new steel. And I've never tried water quenching, so I'm expecting one of these to break. Now, for my fast quench idea, from what I was reading, or what I have read, there's only two ways you can get water and oil to mix. One is alcohol, which I don't plan on putting alcohol into oil. That just sounds like a bomb. Or a bigger fire. The second one is dish soap. And I've actually heard people adding soap to their water or to their brine for a quench. So, I'm going to try oil, canola oil, salt water, and a little bit of dish soap to see if it mixes. Now, from what I understand, WQ really needs a fast quench to get hard. So, if I get a good hamon and get it as hard as the McMaster Carr or the water, that means the canola can be a fast quench if you add salt water and soap. Now, it might not work at all. I might crack one blade, not harden the other one, and, you know, who knows? That's why I didn't put much work into these. These are all 3 little test knives. Now, if they all come out with a 65 hardness, then they'll make some really nice neck knives. But I'm not going to put a bunch of time into something that might crack or might not work, so. Alright. So the knives are ready. Let me see where my oven is at. Alright, here we go. 1459, 1460. Time to put her in. Bam, let's go. 10 minutes. Here we go. 10 minutes begins. I'm doing one at a time like I did with the other one. Alright. Now, while I do that, I'm going to warm up. I think I'm going to do the brine first because I've never done brine. So, here, this is just water now. This is the oil, the canola. So let me put this one back here. Here we go, it's water. This is about a 1/4 gallon. Now it said for salt, it said 3/4 of a cup to a gallon. So about a 1/4 cup should be fine. And from what I've read, this is basically just to make the centrifuge, you know, when you quench it, it makes the evaporation or the vapor layer better and more, you know, for quenching. So the thing is, I've read all this stuff, but I couldn't find anything about if you use water that's warm or water that's room temperature. You know, with the oil, it always says 120 to 150 for oil. So we'll have to see. Must say I'm a little nervous about this. Yeah, opening the door, it's back down to 1428, so I gotta let it get back up to 1460 while this heats up. You know, it said for W2 anything between 1425 and 1475. Alright. Let me see where this is at. I turned this off, but it looks like it's almost boiling. Like 139. Yeah, like 140. I might add a little bit of water in it. Let me just add just a little bit of water and try to bring it down. Here we go into the water. Salt water, that is. Maybe that did. One side fell off. Hey. Now remember, the back of that's still at 1400, so. Let that cool down. Don't see any cracks. That'd be nice. Let me get the second one and put it in there. I actually want the oven to come down a little bit. There we go. Where are we at? Yeah. All right. We're down to 1400. Be interesting to see how that turns out. All right, so we got salt water, and there's our canola oil. So what I was planning on doing, and if you see, let me put this on top of here. If you can see, the oil and the water don't mix. So let's try this. A little bit of dish soap. Stir it up. Now my first thought was if you can make something where because the oil sits on top of the water. If the water sat on top of the oil, it'd be awesome because you could. I've seen people quenching water and then quenching oil. My first thought was to take something, take the oil, then put like wax paper over it, and then put water on top of that. So you go through the water, through the paper, into the oil. But I don't think that's gonna work. But this soap seems to be breaking it up. Look, the oil is actually mixed. Good, I got it on that. Hopefully I got it on that one. But yeah, it's actually a quench that's faster. It's not, the oil, it seems like a lot faster quench. All right, we're back up to 1450 and it's 203. So yeah, the oil is still floating in the middle. It's not on top of it, so this should be interesting to see how it works out. Last time I checked, the temperature of the oil was at about 130, so it should be cooled down to maybe 120-ish. Here we go. It's interesting, the oil keeps lighting as it hits the hotter spots. But it's cool how the water and the oil stayed together. Definitely be cool to see if it worked as a fast quench. Alright, better keep these two separate. And remember, this one, well, the one with the salt is the first one with salt water. This one doesn't have salt water on it. Alrighty. Let me get the third one and put it in. It seems like those tabs work too, huh? There we go. Yeah, 1400. Alright, now I just gotta find a place to put this on because I got my McMaster Carr. This pan is still hot. What time is it? 2:17, alright. I got a piece of metal on my workbench I'm gonna put this on. I don't want to start any fires in there, but I gotta get that McMaster heated up. This one we can touch. This is the salt water, you can tell, because look at the salt. Yeah, and I'm glad I got stainless steel bolts. They came right off. No warping or nothing. If I would have used regular bolts, it could have stripped out the threads or gotten overheated or whatever. Stainless steel has a higher point. Alright, so it's gonna take a lot longer to heat that whole thing up. And these tabs worked, and it looks like that fast quench worked. It is skating. And that's a 65 skating. And I heard with canola, W2 won't get like that. It has to be a fast quench. Alright. Last but not least, McMaster Carr, 11 seconds. See if I can find my other glove. The other two seem to turn out pretty good. Looks like this one does too. See, by not sinking it, the fire will show you how to burn off when it's cool enough. See, that means it's cooling down nice and slow. Spine is staying soft, it's cooling down, cooling down. It's covered, the edge is nice and good. It'll be interesting to see which one gets the better one. I'm sure the water will win, but between the McMaster Carr and the homemade heat treat, in fact, the canola boiled a little bit more. Like it was closer to the water consistency. Phew, look at all that smoke. Man, it's 14 degrees though. I guess I'll open up the window and blow all the smoke out. Alright, let's see how these all worked out. So, I can't wait to see the results of this. This one right here is the water. I don't see any cracks. 65 skates like a charm. This is the canola. It's closer to the water. And this is McMaster. It almost bites. You can see it's almost biting. So it seems like these two are the hardest. The water quench and the canola. And then McMaster. But they're all 65 it looks like. I heard people getting W2 up to 67. So I'm gonna temper it now for, let's see, I think it said 430 for an hour. 2 cycles. Alright, in the temper. And they go for an hour.